Hi to all. Today we discuss about the hypothesis. So, hypothesis means it's a scientific context. It is a testable statement about the relationship between two or more variables. Hypothesis means it is a testable statement about the relationship between two or more variable. Okay. Hypothesis means a brief summation of the researcher's prediction of the study's findings, which may be supported or not by the outcome. Okay, it is a brief summation of the researcher prediction about the study's findings, which may be supported or not by the outcome. Hypothesis is testing the core of the only scientific method. So here there are researchers prediction is usually referred as two methods. One is the alternative hypothesis, another one null hypothesis. So basically the opposite outcome to what is predicted. Okay, so null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, these two methods are researcher prediction is usually referred. The null hypothesis is satisfies the requirement of falsifiability. So a simple hypothesis might predict a causal relationship between two variables, meaning that one has an effect on another. So here the example is more hours spent studying for an exam results in higher grades. So here the two variables are present. One variable is independent variable. Here the one variable is independent variable, another is the dependent variable. How it's related to one to another? So more hours spent on studying, he will get higher grades. Okay, so here this independent variable is manipulated the dependent variable is measured to how it's affected as the independent variable changes. Hypothesis is a scientific context. It is a testable statement about the relationship between two or more variables. It's a brief summation of the researcher's prediction of the study's findings, which may be supported or not by outcome. And hypothesis testing is the core of scientific method, and the researcher predictions usually refer two methods. One is the alternative hypothesis, another one is the null hypothesis, which is basically the opposite outcome to what is predicted. And a simple hypothesis might be predict a causal relationship between two variables. For example, more hours spent studying on for an exam, the results in higher grades. So here the more hours spent studying is the independent variable, and getting higher grades is the dependent variable. Every time this independent variable manipulates the dependent variable. And next, hypothesis testing. A statistical hypothesis is an assumption about the population parameter. This assumption may or may not be true. This assumption may or may not be true. This hypothesis testing refers to the formal procedures used by the statisticians to accept the or reject the statistical hypothesis. There are two types of statistical hypothesis are there. One is the null hypothesis and the one is the alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis means which is usually hypothesis that sample observations result purely from chance. It's a null hypothesis. It's denoted as H naught, which is the outcome Km purely from chance. It's called a null hypothesis and it's denoted as H naught. And another one, alternative hypothesis. So it's denoted as H1 or HA. So here the hypothesis that sample observations are influenced by some non-random cause. So in the first one, it's outcome is completely purely from chance, but here the sample observations are influenced by some non-random cause. Example, so we want to determine whether a coin is fair and balanced. Okay, coin is fair and balanced. So here a null hypothesis might be fair and balanced. So here a null hypothesis might be that off flips would be results in a heads and off in tails. So when through the null hypothesis. So in another method, alternative hypothesis might be that number of heads and tails would be very different. So here we can observe, so a coin flipped, that means here we get off head and off tail. So when alternative hypothesis, it's completely different. So here according to null hypothesis, the probability of head and tail equals to 0.5, that means of head and of tail, and here probability is not equals to 0.5. For example, here suppose a coin flipped 50 times. Okay, so according to null hypothesis, 25 times they getting tails and 25 times they get heads. So when they get equal chance, that means the probability is 25 times tails and 25 times heads, means it is 0.5, that means probability equals to 0.5. So here the null hypothesis would be accepted and it's a fair and balanced. So in alternative hypothesis, so here they get 40 times heads and 10 times tails, that means the probability is not equals to 0.5, that means hence the null hypothesis is rejected and the coin was not fair and balanced, we have to conclude. Okay. So hypothesis test. Hypothesis test is a formal process to determine whether to reject a null hypothesis based on the sample data. The statisticians must follow a formal process to determine whether to reject a null hypothesis based on sample data. This process is called hypothesis testing. So it consists completely 4 steps. One is state the hypothesis, second one formulate and analyzation, third one analyze sample data, and the fourth one interpret results. So the first one, state the hypothesis, means here this involves to stating the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. These hypotheses are stated in such a way that they are mutually exclusive. So here this null hypothesis is true, this alternative hypothesis will be false. That means if one is true, another one must be false. And the next one, formulate an analysis plan. So the analysis plan describes how to use sample data to evaluate the null hypothesis. The evaluation often focuses around a single test, statistic, or formulate an analysis plan means it is completely about the analysis plan describes how to use sample data to evaluate the null hypothesis. And the next one, analyze sample data. So here find the value of the test statistic, mean score and proportion and t statistic and z score, etc. These all are described in the analysis plan. And the next one, interpret results. It is the decision rule described in the analysis plan. If the value the test statistic unlikely based on the null hypothesis, reject the null hypothesis. So here decision errors, 2 types of decision errors are there. One is the type 1 error, another one is the type 2 error. So type 1 error occurs when a researcher rejects a null hypothesis when it is true. So here the probability committing a type 1 error, it's called significance level. So the probability committing a type 1 error, it's called a significance level, and the probability is also called as alpha, and it's often denoted as alpha. Type 2 error means when the researcher fails to reject a null hypothesis that is false. Here the researcher fails to reject null hypothesis that is false. Here the probability committing type 2 error, it's called power of the test, and it is also called beta, denoted as beta. It's about the hypothesis testing. And next one, test of significance. So once sample data has been gathered through an observational study or experiment, so here the statistical inference allows analysis to access the evidence in favor or some claim about the population from which the sample has been drawn. So these methods of inference used to support or reject claims based on sample data are known as test of significance. Means when the sample data has been gathered through an experiment, the statistical inference allows to analysts to assess evidence in favor or some claim about population from which the sample has been drawn. The methods inference used to support reject claims based on the sample data are known test of significance. So here every test of significance begins with the null hypothesis. It's denoted as H naught. So null hypothesis represents a theory that has been put forward either because of it believed or true. The null hypothesis represents a theory that has been put forward either because it believed to be true or because it's to be used as a basis for argument, but it has not proved. For example, we have to take one new drug. So here a clinical trial of new drug is the best example to explain. So here the null hypothesis might be that the new drug is no better on average than current drug. So it is the new drug is no better based on average than the current drug. So we would write the null hypothesis like in this way: there is no differences between two drugs on average. So we would write in the alternate hypothesis. So here the new drug is better than the current drug on average. Okay. So here the final conclusion, once that test has been carried out, always given in terms of null hypothesis only. Either we have to write reject null hypothesis in favor of alternative hypothesis, or do not reject null hypothesis. We have to giving conclusion always given in the terms of the null hypothesis only. Either we have to write as reject null hypothesis in the favor of alternate hypothesis, or do not reject the null hypothesis, but we never conclude like reject null hypothesis or accept null hypothesis. So here the hypotheses are always stated in terms of population parameter, which is denoted such as the mean mu. An alternative hypothesis may be one-sided or two-sided. A one-sided that claims, okay, so a one-sided that claims the parameter is either larger or smaller than the value given by the null hypothesis. Okay, so in the two side, the hypothesis claims that the parameter simply not equal to the value given by the null hypothesis. So for one-sided, when it is for the smaller population, it is for the larger population, the mean is always equal to the population, but here it is not equal to the population for the two-sided. And next one, types of data. So here two different types of data is there. One is the categorical data, and the one is the nominal data. So this categorical data is always represents the characteristics. Therefore it can represent things like a person's gender, language, etc. So here these categorical data can also take on numerical values. Example, 1 for female and 0 for male. So categorical data means it represents the characteristics, therefore it can represent only person's gender, language, etc. and it also take on numerical values. Example like 1 for female and 0 for male. And the next one, nominal data. So nominal data means these nominal values are represents discrete units used to label variables that have no quantitative value. Okay, just these are used as only labels. So nominal data that has no order, therefore if you would change the order of its values, the meaning would not be changed. We have to change the order of its values, the meaning would not be changed here. So here we can see the examples like this one. What is your gender? So here the values of male or female. So for example here we have to change this order, 1 male and 2 female. So here 1 female and 2 male, we have to change the order, but the meaning would not be changed. And another example for that, what languages do you speak? 1 is English, 2 is French, and 3 is German, and 4th one is the Spanish. So we can shuffle the order of these languages, the meaning would not be changed. It's about the nominal data. And the next one, ordinal data. Ordinal data means the values represents discrete and ordered units. So here it is also same like nominal data, except that it's ordering matter. So here we can change the order, they would not change the meaning, but here it's completely change the meaning when we are shuffling the orders. Example, what is your educational background? So first one elementary education, second one high school, third one undergraduate, and fourth one graduate. So here the difference between elementary and high school and difference between the high school and college is completely different, and the difference between the undergraduate and graduate, so it is completely in a particular order. When we have to shuffle this order, the meaning is completely changed. So we have to must mention the elementary education primarily, then high school, then undergraduate, then graduate. So we have to maintain a proper order under ordinal data. And the next one, numerical data. So first one, discrete data. So here the discrete data, if its values are distinct and separate, in other words the discrete data can only take on certain values only. That means this type of data can't be measured, but it can be counted. For an example, discrete data means it can't be measured, but it can be counted. Okay, so basically it represents the information can be categorized into classification. So an example, number of heads in 100 coin flips. Okay, so here we can count the numbers only, but we can't measure through the discrete data. The next one, continuous data. So it's can't be counted, can't be counted, but they can be measured. Example, height of a person, okay, or weight of a person. It is the best example for the continuous data. The next one, interval data. Interval data means the interval values are represent that orders units that have same differences. Therefore we speak interval data when we have a variable that contains numeric values that the order and where we know the exact differences between the values. So in the interval data, here we have to take the temperature values -10, -5, 0, +5, +10. So means here they don't have a true zero in interval data. That means in regards to our example, that there is no such thing as no temperature. With interval data we can add and subtract, but we cannot multiply, divide or calculate ratios. For interval data we can add and subtract the data, but we cannot multiply or divide or calculate the ratios because there is no true zero. And next one, ratio data. Ratio values are also ordered units same as interval values with the differences, but here these ratio data have an absolute zero. Example, length 0, 5, 10, 15. So remember, so interval data means here we can add and subtract the data, but we cannot multiply, divide or calculate. Why? Because they don't have a true zero. In ratio data we can add, subtract and multiply, and divide we can perform because they have true zero. Hypothesis means it's a scientific context, and this hypothesis is a testable statement about the relationship between two or more variables, and it's a brief summation of the researchers' prediction of the study's findings, which may be supported or not by the outcome. And this hypothesis testing is a core of the scientific method. And here the researchers' prediction mostly referred alternative hypothesis and also null hypothesis. A simple hypothesis might predict a causal relationship between the two variables, meaning that one has an effect on other. Example, more hours spent studying for an exam results in higher grades. So here more hours spent studying is the independent variable, and getting higher grades is the dependent variable. That means this independent variable is always manipulate the dependent variable. Hypothesis testing means a statistical hypothesis is an assumption about the population parameter. This assumption may or may not be true. This hypothesis testing refers to the formal procedures used by the statisticians to accept or reject the statistical hypothesis. There are two different types of statistical hypotheses. One is the null hypothesis, another one is the alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis means the usual hypothesis that sample observation results from the purely from chance. It's denoted as H naught. And alternative hypothesis means the sample observations are influenced by the some non-random use. So it's denoted as H1 or HA. For example, we can flip a coin. So through the null hypothesis means it will be get of tail and of heads, but alternative hypothesis means it's completely getting very different results from the null hypothesis. For example, here suppose we can flip a coin for 50 times. So null hypothesis means here we will get 25 times tails and 25 times heads. That means the probability is 0.5 for every flip. So that means the null hypothesis is accepted. That means we have concluded like coin was fair and balanced. Okay, if we will get 40 times heads and 10 times tails, means the probability is not equals to 0.5, means the null hypothesis was rejected and the coin was not fair and balanced. Okay, so either we have to conclude the null hypothesis was accepted or null hypothesis was rejected. We have to conclude in the final statement. Hypothesis test means the statisticians follow a formal process to determine whether the null hypothesis is rejected or not based on the sample data. So here completely 4 steps are there. One is the state the hypothesis. Here this involves stating the null and alternative hypothesis. Okay, so another one, formulate an analysis plan, means here the analysis plan describes how to use the sample data to evaluate null hypothesis. Another one, analyze sample data, means we have to find the value of test statistics. That means we are using find out the mean score and proportion and t score and z score, etc. And the last one, interpret results, means we have to apply the decision rule described in the analysis plan. If the value of the test statistic unlikely based on the null hypothesis, so reject the null hypothesis. So here 2 types of decision errors are there. One is the type 1 error and the one is the type 2 error. So type 1 error means when type 1 error occurs, means when the researcher rejects a null hypothesis when it's true. It's called type 1 error, and also it's called a significance level, and it's called also alpha, and it's denoted as alpha symbol. And type 2 error means the researcher fails to reject null hypothesis, that is false. It's called power of the test, or it's called as beta, denoted as beta symbol. So test of significance means once the sample data has been gathered through the observation or experiment, the statistical inference allows analysts to assess the evidence in favor of someone. So from the population which sample has been drawn, the methods or inference used to support or reject the claims based on the sample data. So these sample data are known called test of significance. So every test of significance will be begin with the null hypothesis. Okay, so this null hypothesis represents a theory that has been put forward either because it's believed or to be true basis for the argument, but as not proved. For example, clinical trial of a new drug. So null hypothesis stated that there is no difference between 2 drugs on average, and alternative hypothesis stated like the new drug is better than the current drug. So here the final conclusion, once the test has been carried out, always given in terms of null hypothesis only. So either we have to write reject null hypothesis in favor of alternative hypothesis, or do not reject null hypothesis, but we never conclude like reject alternative hypothesis or accept alternative hypothesis. So hypothesis always started in terms of population parameter such as mean. So here alternative hypothesis may be one-sided or two-sided. A one-sided hypothesis claims that larger or smaller populations, value given by the null hypothesis, and a two-sided hypothesis claims that a parameter simply not equal to the population or not equal to the value given by the null hypothesis. Here it is equal to the value given by the null hypothesis, but here it is not equal to the given by the value of null hypothesis. So types of data means it is different types: categorical data, nominal data, and ordinal data. Categorical data means it represents the characteristics like represents things like a person's gender, language, etc. Nominal data means here we are represents the discrete units and use it to label the variables that have no quantitative value. Just think of them as labels only. So in nominal data that has no particular order means if you would change the order of its values, the meaning would not be changed. So for example, what is your gender, male or female? So we can change this order, the meaning would not be changed here. Another one, ordinal data. Ordinal data means it represents the discrete and ordered units, and also it is the same like the nominal except that ordering matters. So here example, what is your educational background means we have to mention in particular order: elementary, high school, undergraduate, and graduate. So it is a complete in sequence order. So for example, we have to change this order. That means elementary after we have to mention undergraduate means it completely meaningless. So we never change a particular order in ordinal data. And next one, numerical data. So here these are two types: discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data means it can't be measured but it can be counted, means number of heads in 100 coin flips we can easily count it. And continuous data means can't be counted but they can be measured, example height of person and weight of a person. And the next one, interval data. Interval data means the ordered units have the same differences. So here the ordered units that have the same differences, but example we have taken temperature. So -10, -5, 0, +5, +10. So here we can add and subtract only. We cannot divide and multiply or calculate ratios because there is no true zero. Ratio data, so here also the same differences, but here they had a absolute zero. Example, length 0, 5, 10, 15. Here we can add and subtract and multiply and divide the data. We will get a absolute zero. It's completely about hypothesis testing, test of significance, and types of data. Thank you.